Good morning and welcome to 3 Minutes of Tehillim. We are up to Perek, Samach Ches, Psalm 68. This Perek is actually cited in Maserav, which is the Hanhagos and the practices of the Vilna Gaon. It's cited in Maserav Simin Kuf Tzadivav as the Shir Shel Yom of the second day of Shavuos. This is because this particular Perek has explicit references to Sinai, which is, as we know, Shavuos, the holiday of Matan Torah. So if you were skeptical last time when I mentioned that the prakim before Samach Vav, Samach Zayin are building up towards Matan Torah, progression towards the idea of Har Sinai and both the particularism and the universalism of Tehillim, and you were skeptical of the fact that I said, well, there's 7 psukim in Samach Zayin and 49 letters, and that represents the period of time between Sfiras HaOmer, between Pesach and Shavuos. So now you can see explicitly that in Perek Samach Ches, there are explicit references to Har Sinai. So where are they? So first of all, in Pasuk Ches and Tes, the Pasuk says, Elokim be'tzeischa lefnei amecha b'tza'adecha v'shimon sela. Hashem, when you went at the head of your army, when you marched through the desert, Eretz Rasha'a Af Shamayim Natfu Mipnei Elokim. The earth trembled and the sky rained because of Hashem. And what is this a reference to? Zeh Sinai. This is because of Sinai, Mipnei Elokim Elokei Yisrael, the God of Hashem, the God of the Jewish people. So again, particularism there we see of Har Sinai. Pasuk Yud Ches, further in the Perek, Rechav Elokim Ribosayim Alfei Shina'on Adonai Vam Sinai Bakodesh. Hashem's chariots are myriads upon myriads, thousands upon thousands. Hashem is among them as in Sinai in holiness. Why was it called Sinai? So first of all, there's a number of reasons why it was called Sinai, but the Gemara in Shabbos Daf Peites Amid Beis tells us because Sheyardu Sina L'umos Ha'olam Alav, because it caused hatred of the nations of the world for the Jewish people. And that's this idea that we've been discussing over the last few prakim, is that there's this particularism, and the Jewish people were chosen, they were giving the Torah at Har Sinai, and some felt, and the nations of the world saw this and were actually incensed by this. And we have a certain vision of the world and how the Jewish people are meant to uplift the world, but that doesn't always mean that we don't. That doesn't mean we don't have enemies who don't see it this way. And anti-Semitism, as we know, we've been unfortunately struggling with this for thousands of years. It's in large part because of the Bechiras Yisrael, because of the chosen, the selection of the Jewish people as a chosen nation. However, despite this, Rav Hirsch tells us in a number of places in his writings that we can't forget the purpose of Bechiras Yisrael. Rav Hirsch writes in the 19 letters, letter 15, that when the Torah uses the term segula about the Jewish people, it does not mean that God does not belong to any other people, rather that this people must not belong to any other God, in other words, the Jewish people. And he says, does not Yisrael consider universal acceptance of the brotherhood of mankind to be its ultimate goal? Do we not implore God on almost every page of our prayers to further this goal? We are all working on one great edifice, and that is the edifice of humanity. According to Rav Hirsch, the Jewish people's separateness and chosenness is necessary only in order to facilitate its mission to inspire the rest of the world to God consciousness. So we understand that Sinai, although it caused the sinah, and it's talking about in this Perek, this particular thing the Jewish people had, like Elokei Yisrael, the God of the Jewish people. We can't forget that ultimately, although it's a process and it's a progression, ultimately we are supposed to enlighten the world, supposed to bring the world closer to redemption by living by a life of Torah and bringing the world closer to the Yemos HaMashiach. May we see it speedily in our days.